This is an AQA GCSE chemistry question. It's from the trilogy paper and it's foundation. And we're going to be looking at the periodic table, so a small amount of chemical calculations. There's some bonding in here and a little bit on exothermic and endothermic reactions as well. So I want to put all of the question up part by part for you to pause and have a go at, and then we'll review. So here are parts A and B, part C, parts D and E, and finally part F. So in total, this is an 11-mark question. So let's go back to the beginning and start to review them. We've got the equation for sodium reacting with chlorine to make sodium chloride. We've already been reminded that chlorine is a diatomic molecule. So that's the first thing I'm going to balance. I've got 2 Cl's on the left, so I need 2 Cl's on the right. But I now have 2 NAs on the right, so I'm going to need 2 NAs on the left. For part B, 4.6 grams of sodium reacts with chlorine to produce 11.7 grams of sodium chloride. What mass of chlorine reacted? For this, you need to remember the law of conservation of mass, that the total mass of reactants is equal to the total mass of products. So if I know I made 11.7 grams of sodium chloride, I can subtract the 4.6 grams of sodium, giving me a mass of 6.1 grams. We've got lots of factual recall here, things you simply need to remember. A teacher puts hot sodium in a gas jar of chlorine. The changes seen before, during and after were observed, so you need to complete the sentences to show it. Sodium is a silver solid. It's a metal, so we're going to see it as silver. Chlorine is a green gas. It's very pale green. You may have been able to see yellow. That would have got you credited with the mark as well. Hot sodium burns with a yellow flame. And the product, sodium chloride, is a white solid. And sodium chloride is common table salt that we put on our food. Part D, sodium chloride is an ionic compound. Write the formulae of the ions in sodium chloride. So a sodium ion, we look at the fact that sodium is in group 1, which means it has 1 electron in its outer shell, which it will lose to get a full outer shell. So it loses 1 electron, it has a charge of +1, Na+. Chlorine is in group 7. To get a full outer shell, it will gain 1 electron, giving it a charge of Cl-. All of group 1 metals form ions with the charge of +1. All group 7 elements form ions with a charge of -1. Sentence below, we've got potassium is more reactive than sodium, and this is because potassium loses an electron more easily than sodium. We lose or gain electrons when we react, and metals will always lose electrons. On to part F. How does the size of a potassium atom compare with the size of a sodium atom? Potassium is larger, is what we're looking for, and the reason is that potassium has got an extra energy level, meaning that the outer electron is further from the nucleus. Therefore, bigger atomic radius, bigger atom. And that takes us to the end of the question.